The following is a transcript of a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and the higher self, referred to as I am. This day 107 in the Scorpio month, in the emotional week, day of the root chakra, 18th November 2020. Me. Talking about hypocrisy, one of the things that humans often hide behind a smile is anger, discomfort, annoyance. It happens to me that when I feel angry, the last thing I do is show it. I do not consider myself a person with a lot of anger to express, since I am more depressive than irascible. However, moments of anger are usually covered up, hidden behind a mask. Why do we do that? I am. So as not to appear psychopathic? It is a social consensus. One of the keys to living in society is to respect the rules, the laws established for coexistence. If everyone behaved like children who, without analyzing their consequences, expressed what they feel at every moment with tantrums and excitement, imagine what that society would be like. Me. Well, like now, but without so much mediocrity. Laugh out loud. I am. Haha, that's true. However, that happens because people are not educated as individuals but taught as social agents. Me. I understand. I am. Psychopathy comes from the Greek term illness of the soul. Spie and pathia. The soul is the energy of the body, and disease is the arrest or interruption of the flow of that energy. Thus, a psychopath is someone who cannot interact properly with the energy of others, but constantly explodes. The anger, the tantrum, they are energetic explosions which need regulation. To live in a community, the energy must be in a certain balance so that there is a good interconnectivity between individuals. For this reason, laws were created that punish erratic and virulent behavior, the unpredictable, which can damage public order. This gives security to the group, the clan, the pack, the people. For this reason, culture and social education forms try to hide those low passions so they do not break out, creating chaos, nor ending up harming the generator itself in the form of punishment. Therefore, people hide their low emotions. This is why the Roman Empire, the Arab Empire, the Chinese Empire, and in so many others that were born from these ideologies, their philosophies or religions punished these erratic movements, dividing the body in two, from the plexus downwards as the impure zone that had to be denied, and upwards, the pure zone that sought God. Erratic comes from the word error, which gives rise to the word wanderer, that is, one who walks aimlessly, without access or destination, and whose Latin word is known as peccatus, that is, sin, which comes from the Indo-European ped, foot, giving rise to pecco, which means to stumble, that is, to walk erratically without looking where I am going, and therefore to stumble on my feet. Me. To err is human. We are sinners. It is the way we learn, through trial and error. I am. But culturally, the mistake is punished as a kind of forced education for a peaceful and harmonious coexistence. Imagine. Place yourself in the 3rd century, around the year 300 AD. Empires grow. Rome is so big that it has no choice but to divide its power into two, east and west. The provinces extend from Persia to Portugal, from England to Libya. Many provinces, many cultures and languages, many gods. It is difficult to make everyone follow the laws, the Roman rules. Thus, the church is a great solution. All the mistakes, thefts, murders, everything that Roman law used to punish was not enough to control such a diverse population. The implementation of Christianity was the only solution. Who imposes the law now is God, not Caesar. God can see everything beyond Roman law, and God punishes all those who do not keep his 10 commandments. He knows if you're sinning, for he sees everything with his great eye. Thus, everything impure and erratic becomes punishable. The idea of reincarnation is eliminated to ensure that there are no second chances, and that is now or never. It is heaven or hell, the worst prison of all, since there is no way to escape. Me, sure, it's the best system of social order in a town without education. Fear of one's own desires. I am. Desires are the greatest source of vital energy. Desire is the fire of life that leads us to awaken the will to do, to achieve. The search for social order, instead of educating to guide that fire, dedicated all its effort to extinguishing it. But the vital fire which lies in the genitals is like the phoenix bird. When you put it out and it turns to ashes, it lights up again, resurfacing with greater force, and every time you want to remove it, you just make it stronger. Me, starting a fire. I am. Anger. Me, what is anger? I am. Ira, the Spanish word for anger, comes from the Indo-European term eis, which means passion, referring to a quick and sudden movement like the irregular flaming of fire that gives off sparks. For the ancients, fire was sacred because it gave light at night, cooked food, gave warmth in winter. It was the divine-made matter, something that could not be possessed in the hands, a free spirit capable of giving life or taking it away, reducing everything to dust. For this reason, fire was considered sacred, becoming a synonym. Fire comes from the Greek word pyros, as in pyrotechnics or arsonist. A sacred fire is a pyr or pyra, and an uncontrollable fire is a pirado, a word that in Spanish refers to someone crazy who has lost his mind. Passion and desire, when they become a sacred art, in which sexuality and emotions are used as the foundations of chemistry and psychology to interact with creation, they are an eternal and sacred fire that ignites the spirit in matter. But if that fire goes out again and again, trying to control it, it will look for a way to escape, like a pressure cooker exploding from the sides in an irascible fire that is one that moves abruptly. The word eis gave rise to the Greek word eros, which precisely refers to that quality of fire, to the sacred. Heros gave rise to the word hierarchy, eros arye, sacred power, and hieroglyphic, eros glyphos, sacred engraving. Me, you just made rage holy. You are making us see the light in all the shadows, clearly. I am, as it should be. In English, ira, rage, anger, comes from the Indo-European ang, meaning compressed, squeezed, repressed. Anger is the fire that you have repressed. It is the power that you have hidden or have been forced to hide. Anger is born from the lack of power. That is, from impotence. Men are more prone to anger due to testosterone. The male hormone generates a lot of inner fire focused on a single point and a single objective, to reproduce. He needs to satiate that organic desire, and unlike the female, who can spread her hormones and her fire in many parts of her body at once and contain it inside her for gestation, the male needs to unload it immediately. It is an organic matter. Thus, the male's fire is sharper and faster and is consumed much more easily. Therefore, it is more uncontrollable. A man who learns to direct his fire is more prone to enlightenment, as the sexual energy in man regenerates every moment, which sustains the focus on enlightenment. A woman finds enlightenment in the manifestation, in the expansion, in the life of everything that surrounds her, in feeling part of creation. For this reason, the masculine divinity is in the sun and the feminine is in the waters and the earth. Me. So anger is that energy of creative power that is not channeled with harmony and love, but repressed. Impotence is the inability to take one's own power. It puts out the sacred fire and invites it to explode. I am. Think carefully about this example. When you see an injustice in the world, such as hunger in poor countries or corruption, and you see yourself unable to do something because it's out of your reach, you feel helpless because you do not have the power to help, to do something different than solve the conflict. And faced with that impotence, you feel anger, which triggers sudden reactions. Anger. Me. The problem then is not anger, and it is not synonymous with hate, but a synonym and product of impotence, having lost the power of manifestation, of decision, of action, of sacredness. I am. The chakra of sexuality, of emotion, and of manifestation, the two power centers that lie in your genital and adrenal glands, are supported by a bone of the spine that you call sacrum, heron ostion, or big bone, combined the adjectives big and sacred so that the translators ended up recognizing the sacredness of the point where vital energy is created. Hero indifferently means both holy and great. Me. So the use of this part of the body is fundamental. Wrath, then, is the phoenix bird that tries to free itself from the cage in which morality has locked it up. For the feathered serpent to rise, it must find smoothness, fluidity, respect, manifestation. We are afraid of our low passions because for millennia we have been wanting to control them. We have been forbidden to speak of the lower parts, denigrating them, denying them, disconnecting us from its creative power. Therefore, when we are told that we must let our lower energy flow, we often think of debauchery as if nothing mattered. We have been taught that it is bad, and talking about it makes it seem that the only thing we were looking for is a lack of control. I am. When the truth is that what is intended is to allow us to just regain our own control. You can't put fire in a box because it will suffocate, killing the strength of your spirit. But you can care for and regulate the fire by feeding it with firewood, taking care of it on an altar or bonfire, so that with love, respect, and contemplation, it, due to carelessness, does not end up burning the house or the forest and all the towns around it. Me. We must learn to nurture the fire, not give it the freedom to burn the forest, but give it the possibility of being that light that nourishes, illuminates, warms, forges the tools, feeds. I am. So the next time you feel rage and anger, ask yourself, what are you powerless over? Discover the fault, discover where you cannot act and you feel tied, hand and foot. And do not appease anger, do not repress it or try to hide or eliminate it, because it is not spiritual or balanced, but on the contrary, look in it for the crumbs that will take you to its origin, to the pyre. Where is your lack of power? And from there, look for ways to get down to work. Step by step, carefully, with respect, you will transform anger into creation. Well, the universe was born from a great explosion, and the cosmos emerged from that fire, forging life that contemplates the stars with fascination. Me, I wish. Well, I am a creator. I am fire and life in action.